there were a lot of issues. And now there were big matches. So Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid. This is a big game from every angle. We are game free. Now there were key questions. This is a game the Madrid we need by 2-1. Federico Valverde as early as 1 minute, 21 seconds. Na free kick be panyai or the ball na to them. Then later Rodrigo di be can once and Atletico ba bete. I'm a born 2-1. Now over first, Coach FN Diego Simeone, we need to have a little bit of conversation around him. Say the improvement or the Abeshe Atletico Madrid team nobody can dispute that or take away his credit and his effort. Europa League, the Spanish La Liga, Champions League final. This is massive. But from 2020, 2021, Urban, the last 4-5 years, Atletico Madrid is just existing. And say the duopoly between Barcelona and Real Madrid no mo never say no. And their mentality has completely changed from a team that felt they can go toe to toe with Barcelona and Real Madrid to a team that gradually is accepting that they are a third force or those two teams are better than them. Sana is Atletico Madrid the NBA. Coming to the last 4 seasons Atletico Madrid in La Liga. The last 4 seasons Atletico Madrid in Copa del Rey. Supercopa España. The last 3 seasons Omuntiminje. So when you talk about Diego Simeone, he's getting the signings and drew Real Madrid here. But Saosha recently, Juma Hansi Flick at the Barcelona team here. Yansha Dibi. Barca keeper Joao Garcia. Kunde Nebo right back. Baldi left back. Baldi from the La Masia. Paul Kubasi from the La Masia. Gerard Martin from the La Masia. And Omoto Frankie de Jong. Pedri. I said no Elche. But I'm fan at a young age. And I'm gonna buy. Pedri was not a superstar at the time or joining Barcelona. Femi Lopez. One major signing about Dani Olmo. Robert Lewandowski. Ferran Torres was not a starter at Manchester City. Eric Garcia was not a starter at Manchester City. Then you talk about to be say Rafinha. It's yet no clear cancer Barcelona squad, player for player based on the amount Barcelona invest in. Atletico Madrid ni omo nam sa kwa na aso. The last time Zakito na na kasa 7. And also ni emu be feel say baby openyima for Atletico they were basically a middle place team. And as they saw man be established for top 4 position, that was enough. But Diego Simeone is disappointing me at the top level. League, Oche Madrid 5-2. And we all felt that Saudi Arabia Tuaso was such a game. But that was not the story. 2-1 Madrid in his heart so. And they are becoming comfortable. Too comfortable with the two clubs being better than them. So I think Diego Simeone need to do more. Over. I say Simeone to me Pejan in some kakra. Because Sika is spending the amount of money that they are spending. I expect more from Diego Simeone than what he's doing. So it's something that he need to address. That is point number 1. Point number 2, you Vinicius Junior. You are member positives, no a PMO game. Of 19 matches, Vinicius Junior into me in your go and from my club or country. And this is a player said Madrid JC number 7. Now for club be our JC number, you find say JC number Kesiapa. And Madrid iconic JC number, the JC number 7. And to say this JC number on the show. Nase over we entrust you to do more. Now you are not living up to expectation. I raise a lot of questions. Now, Debiameka said, Vinicius Junior after the Ballon d'Or, a statement that was so powerful and could me live up to that statement can be a motivation point and a motivational point in most of the discussions because this Vinicius Junior after say Ballon d'Or no this second or say Vinicius Junior vows to work 10 times more after missing the Ballon d'Or award. Also, Vini Ballon d'Or no be any season on the Bemano. That's the 2024 Ballon d'Or. And the man Rodri. Now after that, na Vinicius can say the oya no this second.
Why na was I didn't say no son and Kenya.
Oh, over me say that me come or say so no.
Okay.
Because that year the performance in the Champions League for Real Madrid was massive. He was the face of the Madrid team when it comes to the Champions League.
Okay.
He was just super. Into me say that me come one. No more GDS say no near the man.
No, if I can say is seen
that becomes a big debate. But Rodri was also not bad.
Fantastic.
Rodri so when she.
Yeah.
Now Vini to him say the oya na that was helping Madrid to win the Spanish La Liga and the UEFA Champions League, you know. Over here times 10 of that. Bank for now or more holiday normal send the messages. Don't be careful what.
No, so only a document here or catch us
holiday.
Oh I will say. But not on a birthday or the mama won't casa na there.
Obed is scared about
birthday or the mama won't casa but. It drop of the normal yeah.
I food that say. Christmas say me who yeah. When it was say papa de be ba ko shubuna we show Merry Christmas. Over Vini and Madrid edge the Champions League and the Spanish La Liga. And the normal can you say of almost say Vini so about times 10 of that. Tina the day in say times 10 of year Champions League then your numbers are Vini be producing. It be amazing. But for you to go 19 matches without scoring, and on him, so what studies say here? The highlight of Vinicius Junior in most matches are of Obed Bono. In Tokwa. Yellow card. Only coach and your exchanges. That has been the conversation. To say when it comes to Vinicius Junior. So far, something must be done. Because Madrid club are more entertaining. If you really know Real Madrid, we will say Madrid the amount of performance they drop kakrebi on major acquire no matter how big you are, especially when there is a new boy here, Juma. I'm to be a Ika Casillas. In terms of Diego Simoni, Nentokwa on Vinicius now catch Vini say Odi Agra Florentino Perez Bertono. Diego Simoni Nankasa no one, but that statement is powerful because Ika Casillas and Iban also no Bobo my FC Porto. Over Pepe Niban also he was no longer at Real Madrid. Ramos at a point or Chichen who kakra with contract extension and Niban also no over or Bobo my PSG. Farewell match crown and Tisomu Bobi Mano. Cristiano Ronaldo at the Champions League, that was his last match for Madrid. And on the field he was performing. Anybody also know Oko Juventus, no matter on Oko Juve. That is Real Madrid for you. Raul Gonzalez Blanco. Over time of Florentino Perez kofa Cristiano Ronaldo by now opese Omar Ronaldo is the face of Real Madrid no. Raul was just number 7 no. So Ronaldo first is not 9. Raul na 7. Before Raul realized no over Omar you say no about Shaka 04. Na aje number 7 just in the ama Cristiano Ronaldo. And Vinicius must be careful. Born a Kylian Mbappe bono. From the onset to Muse or Florentino Perez and Niso say, Opeso ye Kylian Mbappe the face of the Madrid project. But and now the delay in Mbappe's arrival. And as I see in another Vinicius Peki and Intino, it creates some form of complications. And then the complication by Amen Mbappe say just number 10. It's a wolf in one pijamwa. Especially when your contract extension issues, you know, fix it.
Pejamunu got to do with goals where man has a performance.
The total performance is not the best. Now his involvement in assists, his involvement in goals ni nyina limited and over idea ba ko esi etimi hwe na e ka ho asem na Rodrigo in the last 5 starts also call almost 25 matches no she go Emma Madrid, but recently he seems to be getting it back. Our 7-goal involvement in the last 5 matches I was starting at the Emma Madrid until Vinicius and call Rodrigo na uncle suye bibi kakra no ntimi bounce back. But born mama picture be
Pedro de na of Las Palmas never
Las Palmas, yes, Las Palmas. Las Palmas no buy. Yes, I'm going to find for Las Palmas.
Good.
Over. And now, Federico Valverde see from. Now, se born bit me and picture not good. Over first thing men who say wrong with this picture. You talk about Federico Valverde and his brilliance. But I heard you are then wrong.
Goalkeeper.
Yes.
The
The position of the goalkeeper.
Very bad.
When you say war, 3-man war. Federico Valverde was excellent. The shots, no boy, you know, the technique, everything was spot on over. We are not going to take anything away from Federico Valverde. And we are now debate now started. Alonso, Valverde, Muntari, Roberto Carlos, and for the boss shot partner, or must start debate.
And Muntari.
Yeah, oh yes.
Okay.
If we share Muntari, the videos are no a one player shot power. No obi pa.
Amo ko mo chi anka mo ntimi fa Mohamed Gago nka ho.
Amamfa na nka.
Mo fa na nka ho, okay.
Amamfa.
Mo fa na nka ho because Gago short power lo bone there.
Jova, now mo bobo bodies names.
Okay.
Now Valverde powerful shot. But Sebon my video now. Over shebe bia yan o black gina. Now ka obedie di say, obefa ne say ebia nko ato wo
Eba sabe no ato wo na wi ana.
where time obe kiki ball.
Obe kiki ball no.
She also obe kiki ball na no. And baby otina no.
Video no me na boy.
Now you can video ne ba born video na beto so man. Over video ne ba then you realize say nipa miensa na e wo no. Etina ekwan dem. Enti obeye movement be science and waduru ho. More now the celebration because second one no mu twa free Valverde what the ne ba of a new nipa 3. Enti na nya wo a
Ne sakwa kan ya memboa.
ne sakan.
Or try man ne sakwa kan ba na e too late.
Enti wo no he of a nipa 3 penny gina wo no. We ne the fan so gina nchen. Enti uti say ekwan dem. So the standing position of Yano Black was not the best. But we are not going to take anything away from Federico Valverde. And we are on settle Atletico Madrid team and over Bolivia by example and on starting also setting the stage for Sunday. Barcelona Real Madrid El Clasico, the Spanish Supercopa. Last year Momo 5-2. 5-2 nom the Momo. And this year everything shows that Barcelona fans know GD.
Okay.
Some be winning.
Matisse.
Sunday is going to be interesting. Lot of key battles. You be discussing Pedri ni Jude Bellingham. You be about New Year's and come on the best start game. Joao Garcia any Ninuya Courtois best start.
Okay.
So interesting times ahead. But yesterday was a good game. Saudi.
Okay. But I say Obed Kofi Zakito and then minim say they were crowd will be also a Manchester come Madrid because we pono Madrid jersey. Gibo only the come over Chirwana.
Say on say you won Kofi be o free team ma na mo supporters dey o machi. Say we need team.
Just say na dinam.
No ne team ni Moreno.
Okay.
Nti baby na say so the air den dey ma say onya Portugal matches ni bi nwe. Dey say ono
a bi ni so.
Ono abochire bo hwe na air den dey ma no so benya bi hwe. Zakito there, this stance our take. Mama support Manchester na musi Zakito come on munti. Or say coach bi obeba after Morin be wini. Ami akaso ya de acha Morin die. And the coach kun lose.
Sano kai.
Aye. I say the stance ni say. Hey, what's one kind? Enra obi o tie Zakito bi ati. That was the stance.
Ebia mo de yemfa to ho but one cano straight.
No say. So obi ka say obi meye bibi e cha Morin dia. Ase ni say. Enti coach no be ya hwe kura so nani. Manchester na yi match o mo bo ni da Burnley. O mo bo 2-2 there. but we game here the whole season before money Burnley game no Sesco no actually say we bought 17 goals to 17 games 2 goals Enuachi 1 game 2 goals and Sesco best performance in Manchester JC e your money Burnley boy no boy no
enye team so bishia
na say Burnley no money Manchester boda e wo Old Trafford referee the 5 minutes get crowd to so anka ball na ye draw ho 5 minutes per eto so Old Trafford
e kure mu anka de
Zakito dey say no afa no ho adwene na asem ni na say ebe ko go dey enkokona
we dey cobra ba me ko no
Amorin no ye de aman say on take am for Amorin so nya de
e para sam no
David onya de ezo benye tima coach na che
sa
Amorin this Portugal wa
encho benya bijibo
team bay
enche
team kese ti say Manchester United ben e be fa Amorin this is Portugal bi there is Zakito encho no so be sese no
obene na mu a
eti
na Manchester won't me nyai
official announcement say Zakito ye anti Manchester supporter
una wudi kra la na jibo
wonne kana asem me nka hwe
and I want you no say
na tade show ye chese
o se mutache
Kemetino na want you no say
o mutache
ole no mko fana ba no ole meye bi papa bi a cha Amorin
e dem no me ka
so ole de onyade
eti so
ole de onyade
e na wo ho no
eti se upam Amorim na go fa ole ba
ene bo dem no ya de ene bo dem no ya de
asema me kanye ni
ene bo dem no ya de give na sali odika na ole de ole bo no boy ya wo kwa wo zeba
number 2 Amorin na no mko fana ba no ana obe she ten ha ga nan no na de na no waye
oh but before we go free ban no waye we be free ban
e de no waye
Champions League not the
Amorin in the history of Manchester United ball Premier League coach awasapa no since 91-92 he started here ball Premier League in the history of Manchester United coach a Manchester United afa na wasapa no checking the winning rate say 37.1 or say 38.1 or say how can you be supporting this coach whilst you call yourself a Manchester United supporter where you be at say wa bona adwumu po say Manchester United on
pese say
now per Manchester be support Amorin ahead of the team
jibo
open Manchester be yi Amorin e Manchester United Obed no why sir it is Zakito there and then wa change the team o ni Jesse no de aba no ni Jesse no de aba no typical Real Madrid fan and I say watch Manchester Jesse because
the edahuma akata no bia na
onye Manchester
hey Zakito and no I say say go for that to ba kunu mu na azuzu
na coach and winning percentage 38.2 Manchester as a football club by no since Premier League omo hu bi da o se sa coach no mapam na onte ase enu ti coach bi Manchester won lose
Obed on kaso lose but ono de wa man ya to say onyini say udi oli na eba oba betwa no
ti obi kan sama etini o so obi betia kase no odi watemba no nka ase bi aboa na kwase
ipa say you ya bia
so se me
jam for there no
ba no kan ase no didi watemba no nka ase bi aboa na kwase a emfa nkire wo utie Zakito nsem enu a clearly opese coach bi obeba bia should fail just for him to say Amorin na mopamo no was a mistake
menka bi da
one can but there how we analysis no
menka nya ni say only no wasa say afi 2026 o team no woni abre pass open bia ya
ne wole
o si mapam Amorin na me ko for coach only say na ya musu me just o ka bi ko afi we before no all ko no let table na na so evidence na don say on the Champions League just 3 points per Amorin ye pam no Champions League na 3 points per entino ya na say nyeti no team a no oji league mpo no spend almost 500 million there for Liverpool kura no and on na 3 points per on the mon kase pam ni coach
o so on the bia na obaje
Premier League wajili
so obaje don kase pam
ni Clementino be come see say ekoya ha ye be ma o omo bebi amubu ye se ka de bi wo ho a enkan so nyame ye eno bi na Zakito kan ani slot ya okan last year na G Premier League on the G Premier League Amorin so G Europa League no and Manchester United they both even in the Champions League. Kamenya sure say Manchester for because almost akeno. Because at least Ojina Bibiso and odi coach team no. But where do you buy? Manchester go boy Europa League against Tottenham Hotspur. The only thing na Manchester about that a day ne e yomu je say show mo. Ball na de ball ne de obi ehun say Manchester. Anya sa da na ye ko yi Zakito so ko obi ehun. Obi ehun.
Your point.
Wanka a chain your friend is on my bed sika.
Why?
Kwado. Ya kwado.
Mekai.
Ni we feel wo. As Zakito de nke kwado first person in sika yo no.
Olwa.
Yani your friend is on my bed sika.
Okokra.
Asa na Zakito ba. Eti ya besa be chen say Zakito de na me ye kwado na ba ewu aka ho. Nana
oh, Nana Yamarum Sawa.
The stance I want to take you after Morin sack no. And someone can have a good
Nana who is doing now. Your mother coach away by your mother
Morino supporters no. Amada Morino supporters no. Amorin de I know of another kind, no, I know. Or say Amorin, your man, or necessary.
Ah, Samu.
Ofano pa de dio editino Zakito dey say
you can remember you better try to wait here from one no no idea
obi
Tino o say the AFCON quarter final edro
oh yes
quarter final
we mka kama me hear me pa
the big game o ma fe no Morocco sisi at the extension in Morocco. Question of Morocco is a minor or at this stage, you know. Or minor, I'm born. And yes, at this stage, Cameroon are better than Morocco on paper. They don't believe in that, say Morocco is better than them. But history is against Morocco. And upon mine, Bakwa, say, this stage where Obed me because of experience, and be AFCON 5 times, that is Cameroon. And to almost experience at this stage. And Cameroon, Morocco, the last time, as a tournament of host 2 years. And I'm say, host and win in 1988. No, money, semi-final, that's all money Cameroon. Yeah, but say Cyril Thomas Makanaki. Panya 1-0 match in Morocco, you free. So the last time on my friend Morocco, almost AFCON no. On my you free no friend Cameroon. Today once again they are meeting another Cameroon over the quarter final stage of the AFCON. Say they are noted for Sanyamano. Say yam bro remember Tete on Yanko or the Cameroon on your best. Yamba Tete on Yanko de. Omo ya de ho pa.
To wo ade na be adwuma in the current performance ne history no.
No unse to be a
Morocco form
history na adi ehun to so. Unse si anoman no. Omo ko nyina ehun awo mu. There is fear in the supporters. Because I don't say 88 they are check. And they say the money 88 for now they don't omo pa ko be no mu no. Be bre no nkula no so be bre na no mu no in 88. Time Morocco stuff ko no boy kakra bi. But you see, and then oko oman mu a almost TV stations ni radio stations in the discussions about so sports no. Yeah, the last time they hosted the AFCON, some man when be year free.
Uhia Morocco coach bi oba cycle wo.
It is there. And open one country or side the man Morocco in terms of social technical team now or more bia or psychologists to side them up knowing say yes, I see a come. Let's move on. Almost 88 no. Number 2. I'm go share Senegal. Let's also share Morocco 1-0. Cannot be can say go no Cameroon. So their meetings at AFCON hasn't been good
for Morocco.
And naturally, yeah, your money no mun to Cameroon until the last 2 AFCON qualifiers before first Morocco. I share twice no. No mun say Morocco sorry Cameroon da omo life mu as a football nation. Eti your money historical omo team omo mbobo ana omo no mkakoshia. And there is high hope in Omanfe Morocco say if there's one AFCON movie say they can host and win as that AFCON win. The good news for them and they say Hakim Efensen Ashraf Hakimi is back. And what was last game Biano you could see say when Oboboni Bia also on the right side no player can give them. And the team changed completely with Ashraf Hakimi in the team. Yes, Baleba so far I'm saying naka the past time you know so ti fence Brighton go no mo hwe since United deal no buy call off but oba to Africa no obet say yes he stay the Baleba and team say bia open bia no o sign na I want to believe say onya happy at Brighton because say e obi a okra kekete o be Brighton na sika kasi dia ba say bra na o hwe salary anka okwakojo United na ya mo anko tino.
Let me tell you, say Liverpool so penana. So as well linking to Liverpool.
No, he's a top midfielder. Every team that paid defensive midfielder, BITI teams on DM Liverpool can be because almost only DM. It's a top midfielder based on what we've seen the AFCON. He stayed the Baleba. I'll be actually in the last season. No, Tio. Come on for hard. If Washe how more Trebaku they defend 5. Na Baleba mujine finfin. Omoje ball na ande omo utilize fans saying mbwe pace no omo botu ma no akofa ball no panya no omo na ekọ no so ball no pa de Morocco ball sin Cameroon for no I want to say Morocco for na careful because the ball no here there no remember say mbwe mo bi o speed pa Baleba ewo like or drive bet me ball na trauma fans saying mbwe mo so front to me ono e bet na pass because defensively Morocco are not strong. Only a friend say through I came through yes Obed or a normal center back Obed now Marcel he's a normal center back but the other bono after this you must see no so and then the ball 4-5 omunya actually left for bonkumo for the ball omunya ball 3 offense so 4-5 no about Marshall at left back eti omu to train nke problem ni o but second back column no e bongo for you no 4-5 it is ultimately like crabia you punish them so defensively they are not strong like not for very good and another problem Unai is out of the season tournament no one of their most influential midfielders who controls the game for them from opera our team no count it's a problem Tino I want to my heart is for Morocco but I think say Cameroon for no omo ha adwuni ye papa and what tournament we are so hwe omo ne fa nsen say group say no omo we group is it Ivory Coast yes group stage in a game na no BFC say oh baby based on what we've seen especially omo first game come for so brave pa Tino ansa na omo win this game no omo ne Gabon a share 1-0 no second game kwa omo ne Ivory Coast for fast no. And Ivory Coast are one of the tournament favorites. Okay. You know, yes, my heart is for Morocco, but Cameroon for my heart, and no matter what say Morocco for the party at the Amomo, Senegal, Ebo, Mali. Who's a Mali for Omo Portugal? Any okay, Portugal Euro 2016 no. Omo board draw, Omo match back. Omo board draw, no Morocco for Ekwaji. So far, Mali above 4 matches. Ni draw. Omo lose be. Draw. Last game against Tunisia, penalties, draw penalties, and on free. So far, technically they've not won a game because they draw. Penalty and yeah, they can win. And Martin and Lina draw. Tino, Senegal so far so good in this tournament, but the amount ultimately and the team Mali is Tino. Ocean Mali against Morocco. Mali against Tunisia. So far the big games now Mali are gonna feel you know. Yes, more. If you watch Mali against Morocco, now here Mali against Tunisia, and they don't write Mali off against Senegal completely. Because Adia Senegal will be a Mali for Nubi. Say technically Yambo Yenda if it is strength so young one near or Mobi. And then again the bear more physical. So but as to who would have chances na obenya no how we utilize chances
Okay, how we
yes
utilize.
because be more physical we nya be try say they will go gidigidi kakra and we nya out flare what you money for now when they decide to go flare we are the pomu no more pa Senegal's out flare kakra so you know the game will more physical but you know Senegal for now dominate Mali for ache o ma dominate match pa I say a mismatch because Senegal so the last 15 AFCON games obi an show e AFCON e normal time the only defeat no munya you know enye against Ivory Coast penalties that match was a drawing game so in their last 15 AFCON games team Omabia team Senegal you know yes as much as Mali for air stubborn and what all that they are doing you know I think say the Omolak no ebesa against Senegal I tip Senegal to win and go to the semi-final
okay
when another slot ya there second half no ya there pa first half no nenye but a good choir of us so enye one change person bia but choir of us mo munya the confidence go and take game no bobo ni nyina no second half no but tete na so question marks on so bebre teams now move dey china na say afiwe no
omo nyina performance no
because they tete here pa dey nka
cause go be a touch na wasa no
there was a team on form nka na league jere nke be shake kakra ba teams no dey team obia no afiwe no nye
City and start ye
eno mo ba mu
na make ya ha
eno end ni so omo last games na draw so nti ti do ha juni pa
Mate Zach you
Cameroon for come na Zakito di na me dem pese me di kakra Cameroon for no maso den Clementino no munim host nation for tia unim say Cameroon as a country ade ba ko a Clementino mo mo dem so nko ne say Cup of Nation na ye bo no ye ba no mo wo ma no mo do time mo share host nation na it becomes a different Cameroon.
no mo shebre na mo born na sakra
Or the member examples. 1984, Cote d'Ivoire ne host to Cup of Nation. Cameroon show group stage 2-0. Zakito akan 88. Almost show 1-0. Say, open some of the famous names about African football man. Even Ghana, when Ghana and Ukraine are outsider.
yeah
Makanaki, Oman Beyik. In his order to say dinner. What did he be there?
pa
Francois Oman Beyik.
Mambi
Ah, no Mudini are very popular.
Mbombe baka hwana Mbombe
No. Ono na ni din e Ghana but for baby e din wo and reason was simple because of Cameroon participation at the 82 and 1990 World Cup. Was the first African country who board the semi-final at the World Cup. Into Momdin be popular. 1992 Cup of Nations na e born in Senegal no. Cameroon dey Senegal free more. Ghana Nigeria 2000. Ghana Nigeria 2000. Nigeria for news on Magic Cup na wi. Na Cameroon Nigeria from them. Then in 2002 Mali. No Matia Mali. No Makosha Senegal final no Magic Cup no. Say Morocco Cup of Nation you hosting. Factors be bring no the host Cup of Nation no. Kesipe wo ni say. Omo so Magic Cup of Nation bi a che. Omo invest a lot of money into their football. From junior level to senior level.
shall so hear the results among
Say beso abani nyina stadium fefefe ne ho anwan na no Clementido. Say ekobase de bi Morocco fo ntimi anye trophy bia.
paso amaso
History be number 3 there for mo stadium ne other sporting facilities o maye no.
we so free hakuru mu abia na betting
Omokoje recent FIFA Under 20 World Cup no. You could clearly see the jubilation.
yes
But your competition. African Cup of Nation 2 say Africa won out so no. You need to win the Cup of Nation. Period ya Morocco for me. Clementino. Countries o drew sa stage ni pen. At least at a point o make a case. Cameroon wa kan. When they went to the World Cup in 1990. Now we could do semi-final no. Yes, they brought in new players at the 1994 World Cup, even though Roger Milla could be, but that time, now Roger Milla said the normal Diego. 1998, Cup of Nations born was in Burkina Faso. 1980 Burkina Faso. Omo we need there, but on the continent they were the best side. And eventually they were the first African team even to qualify for the 1988 World Cup. And the 2000 Clementino Mbeji Cup of Nations. It was at their peak they won the Cup of Nations. My member Nigeria from 1990, 1994. Nigeria 1994 was the best performing African country at the World Cup. USA. Omo ya dey African country bia. Until Italy you omo film with 10 players. Roberto Baggio go na o share na Nigeria film no. 1994 Nigeria Cup of Nations with Tunisia. They would have won it in 1996 Kombeje. Enya ba no wunya ya ka Nigeria beje. It's Nigeria also at their peak and 96. Omo mo born 94 no. Majority of them they covered the Olympic Games 1996 in Atlanta. Almost Argentina in the final after eliminating Brazil in the semi-final. Egypt the same thing. Ghana so at our peak. Yanya we kura na ball final mark ba kum yenu miensebi. Any yentimi anye trophy. Cote d'Ivoire they buy eventually 2015 they won the Cup of Nations because Cote d'Ivoire in fact from 2006 to 2015 normally Ghana boboso. Even though that period Egypt is more Cup of Nations, but to show Cote d'Ivoire the kind of talent I know more ewa na Egypt could any be. Sa stage in Morocco for Drew. Say, and they ka African country be a partner ya there by FIFA ranking no more first.
Oh first.
Omako World Cup, Omako semi-final. Won't be gasa we best for Africa na won't be the Cup of Nations. Ti Morocco there, omo for kwen bia so. And a cup ko any BBA Morocco. Cup ko any BBA Morocco. Ye bo FIFA World Cup qualifiers na country bi nya park Moswa Morocco. I said dancy. Ubes bo Chelsea foundation one ho be ni nyina. Unya ntrem a unya hu se wasidan. It's Morocco for person winning Cup of Nations. But they are meeting a Cameroon team. Yes, what they compare previous teams now. Kabaka say we there based on the quality of players no more they were from. But in football, and now Brabono cry bono Clementino untimin two baby a free ba enkune. The moment Abe makes us idea no baby a woko. The sa spirit na Cameroon for was omo tell you host nation for free muno. And the be hunting Morocco for sa. Just imagine see a ball game na Cameroon was a first goal. A didn't be so Morocco.
Pressure.
One on best at Tiakaka. Hey, it didn't see you. I didn't know Mukoye could go for Nibina as some year 284, dear no. Hey, 2008, Ghana host 2 Cup of Nations. Cameroon for ya ni film. Hey, what more year Nigeria for 2000. Tomorrow say we a player and now we even support an our stadium. Yes, it's Cameroon baba ya one country. We a host nation have so Cup of Nations na. Person be share omo. Oman no criticize it to decision to appoint a coach when time and no coach no. It's paying off at the Cup of Nations no. Ebi ko agi 2 years away and in time be a World Cup no komuko bi. Inti na nwumre game ni de.
Ewa
Tino Eden. Sekasa nya de na ebo. Yes. Brahim Diaz are finally fit at this Cup of Nations. Even though yet to the standard I knew say Brahim Diaz won, but he has been very decisive in games I won't say Morocco Breno. No afa kwan bi so anu akoshego. On say the center of gravity no ana Eden or jibo na water form. To your wife say wo twena. Ana very difficult. Eti ena nwumre Morocco ne Cameroon game no Clementino. Game waiting for extra time.
Samu.
A penalty is there Cameroon be Morocco film. So game no e travel to penalties
Cameroon extra na penalties there.
Oh Cameroon be eliminate Morocco.
Okay.
And then they meeting promise us ade no. Morocco chance of winning this game 90 minutes no. Anything apart from 90 minutes Cameroon be sure.
Cameroon be
Extra time Cameroon, penalties Cameroon, 90 minutes Morocco. Ntinde Morocco air fight against a country or what the spirit of eliminating host nations at the Cup of Nations. Mali ne Senegal. Na me hwɛ Mali team no kakra bi. Na omo team no nyɛ bad. But Senegal look like a team they are on a mission. Over when Sudan game, come fast, so Sudan share first goal, but Sudan share 3 goals no. It looks like a team, yes. They won the last AFCON. But they still believe that someone do mine car.
Oh dear.
Say nyame wa dom na omaya wo from generation bi pie. Na Clementino so man timi anye trophies, especially in football ma wani anye a. Omo betwa mo nkai omo da. Yetia ne ya ye kasai. People even believe say team na dey Ghana dey can qualify dey call World Cup. Players no mo go da omo koye no mo da musunku chen player bi a wa she Blaster GC. But penny coffee team dey call 1992 Cup of Nations was Senegal. Na bisa won say omo mo dey qualify for World Cup 2006 no. Dodo say eno betimi wura say team nim. Dodo say eno betimi wura say team no. E bia yakọ akire kesia ba esen do beba esen beba o I think so
Hey ebayiro
esen beba
okọ veteran na chi o
ya esen beba esen betu abra yes obetu no ena Steven Apia ne Odate Lamte ebe dia ma Apia
da bia pentim to Odate Sata Odate no
tena make
Sata Odate no
ba esen do beba
na France Beku say he's like a diamond
esen do beba edi kamati we kwa ya achini no ahwe ne program
da be we ko de buy
sana Senegal for ne de na ye they feel say it's time to dominate African football. O se sa tournament ni number 3 papa. Ni en shede
6 de na na.
O tu ni en shede ni number 3 papa. Ana refi. Ni en shede ni number 3.
Ontimi asare.
So ne meche no. Eti Sadio Mane mo, Kalidou Koulibaly mo, they feel say they need to reward Senegal. Yes, omaje trophy ni bi, but they need to do more. Eno ne ma misro Mali ne. The kind of enibra Senegal for ne de bobo no. Me hu sa de no Tunisia for no ne Mali boy anymore. And their front line. Enya Africa nko awu. Ebetimi atorment any country e was asase so.
Mani mu hono.
Hwe. India ye wo Everton. Ismail Assar wo Crystal Palace. Sadio Mane is a superstar.
But the experience nenam.
Forget about Nicholas Jackson, chances of best no. But we defender now attacking Nicholas Jackson. Baby we have say my bre. Because on my bre when who defend against him. It is this Senegal team against Mali. On say sometimes yeah na yeah blacks yeah 22 for the share one games near very close. But the journey of the Mali national team no. 21 we be win there.
AFCON you know.
Acha say game best start 4
yes.
Nti yanki kan kwa 445 acha o de 450 first half. Na second half aba. Acha emo 6 there. Na Mali full free stadium a no mo fa kon best first so show mo back. E de akoba mako. Omo mbeko mo club so beko. Nti ene 2 games no mo bono. Senegal to win over Mali. Makajo say Cameroon and Morocco game in the day. So Morocco and me win 90 minutes now.
A extra na
extra time and as a penalty.
Cameroon.
Cameroon benya qualification.